You've already heard a moment of earnings front and center for Apple. Apple posted strong results last night. Earnings per share coming in at $2.34 a share on revenue of $53.27 billion. The company citing strong demand for iPhones as Apple is racing toward that $1 trillion market capitalization. It is another big day for corporate earnings, in fact. We've got ADP, Humana, and Tesla all reporting their quarterly numbers this morning, while Apple shares are up 3.5% right now. Analysts are expecting Tesla, meanwhile, to lose money, posting a loss of $2.92 a share on revenue of $3.96 billion. Joining us right now is ARK Invest analyst Tasha Keeney. Tasha, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Your reaction to the Apple quarter. We heard Mike's analysis here that it's actually trading at a discount to where competitors are. Your thoughts on the stock and the earnings picture?
You know, I like this comparison of Apple and Tesla. You know, Apple used to be considered a fashion statement before the iPhone was popular. People thought, oh, you know, people are just buying this for the looks. But really, people were buying it because it was more convenient. It was a better phone. And I think Tesla's the same way. You know, people right now think it might be just a fashion statement, but actually it's a better car. It's a better product. It improves overnight in your garage. So I think that, you know, people are really missing this long-term story of this competitive advantage that's not going away.
But when you look at Apple and Tesla, I think they're two very different companies because Apple has enough cash to sustain itself for a very long time, very strong balance sheet. Whereas Tesla, you could argue that they need money, although Elon Musk says they don't, but they need money and could be in a huge cash crunch in a very short term. So I think they're, although both innovators, both leaders in their industry, but two very different stories when you look at the balance sheet.
I agree with you. And I think, you know, Elon Musk has said that Tesla might not raise money or doesn't need to raise money. I think Tesla could raise money. And in fact, you know, as investors at ARK Invest, we'd be happy with that. We just want them to get as many cars on the road as possible because these cars all act like mini R&D centers. They gather data, they improve the mapping system, and they'll lead the way to autonomous driving.
So, Tasha, speaking of autonomous driving, Tesla certainly has the capability, but Volvo has a very autonomous vehicle, and all of the major car companies are coming out with automobiles that have some level of autonomy. What's the difference between like what Volvo is producing in the S90 and how that's, I think that's at least a level 2 or 3 on the autonomy scale versus what Tesla's producing? Why does Tesla have the advantage?
So when a Volvo car comes off the lot, the technology that it has is stagnant. It stays that way. Tesla can actually improve the technology of the car through over-the-air updates, and it's the only automaker with that capability. It's also the only automaker that's actually collecting data off of customer cars to make those updates and to feed its neural net to improve its software system.
That data from the car goes back to Tesla?
Exactly.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but we have to look forward. And Dagan, Apple CEO Tim Cook warned on the conference call that tariffs are a tax on the consumer. So going forward, are we going to still see this kind of outperformance when you've got tariffs possibly cutting into the margins?
That's one of the only real serious hurdles in the short run for China for Apple is related to China and what is going on with the White House, with the Trump administration and China. Front page of the Wall Street Journal today, which you referenced in the open, is that this next step of $200 billion in goods that the U.S. is going to slap tariffs on, originally it was forecast from the White House, it was going to be 10%. Now they're talking about 25%, and that will be consumer goods. Apple makes its iPhones in China. It can't really easily shift production to another nation to avoid that. Apple is analyzing the impact of the trade fight between China and the United States. But I will add this, there has already been negative press floated in China about Apple. And again, it's a communist government. It's centrally planned. There's been one criticism that the iMessage service doesn't block spam enough on CCTV. They jumped in and said Apple's App Store allows illegal gambling apps. So again, that's how China can hit these American companies. They can hit them, and China is still critical, just sales there. 1/5 of the sales are to China, with a 19% increase in that nation for Apple in the most recent quarter.
Does this not come into your model in terms of looking where this company goes?
I think if the tariffs become a thing, and
Right.
and Tim Cook made a statement that they will make a public announcement about it and how it could impact the business. So yes, you have to factor that in. When and if it becomes a thing, it's not affecting the business right now. The business is doing great. It's hitting on all cylinders, really. So I think if you look at the other side, if there are not tariffs, if the tariffs don't negatively impact Apple, where's the stock price at that point? I think it's much higher.
I'm surprised there aren't more phones that look like Apple but aren't Apple in China, by the way.
Yeah,
Why aren't they copying Apple phones like they copy everything else? They
The
probably
local
are.
Chinese company, Huawei, they are now #1 in China. They overtook Samsung. So they are doing it. But Apple is still a status symbol. And they've built this moat where once you're using the Apple product, you need the Apple Music and you have the Apple Cloud.
That's
so,
true. Very sticky business.
Yes, long runway for Apple right now.
Right, and China as a government understands the importance of Apple because all the phones are made in China. So they would be careful about allowing runaway theft of the Apple brand within the country.
Talking about two sort of innovative, really 21st century companies, you mentioned comparing it to Tesla. The leadership is very different. Isn't that right? I mean, does Elon Musk need to change his leadership style as the company gets bigger?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because if Elon Musk is a character. He's out there. And actually, we saw with Steve Jobs, he also was, very aggressive on the competition. He hopped on one of the earnings calls and went on a rant about Android. He said it was his personal vendetta. So I think, Elon Musk is this star figure. I mean, he's doing these amazing things. He's launching rockets. He's re-landing them. I think that's what makes Tesla employees willing to work for him and willing to work so hard. So, we think that's a big part of Tesla's competitive advantage is his leadership.
Yeah, but a lot of employees have left. Like their chief of engineering is gone. And again, there's a difference between being inspirational and being a jerk. And I think that to the average person, Steve Jobs was a huge inspiration to them, and he was able to see what they needed before they even knew it themselves. And quite frankly, historically, Elon Musk has acted like a jerk, and that's been one of the problems with people in Silicon Valley. These leaders, they think they are Steve Jobs before they've ever produced something that was nearly as successful as even the iPod.
Yeah. What was that conference call that he had a couple of months ago when he was upset with the analysts because they were asking real questions like, why do you burn so much cash? And will you be able to keep burning cash like that without a money raise?
I'm glad that you brought up that point. On that earnings call, we were actually happy that he did that because we're long-term investors, and all of those questions were so short-term.
So it doesn't bother you that they're burning cash at this rate?
Again, I think they could do a raise, and we just want them to get as many cars on the road as possible. And right now, their competitive advantage is unrivaled. They have better battery technology than anyone out there. And again, they're the only car that's actually updating after it leaves Tesla.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Tasha, good to see you. Thanks so much. Tasha Keeney there.